welcome to the Artist Behind the Music Nashville series with Halle Kearns. Welcome, girl. Thanks for joining the show.
Hey, thanks so much for having me.
Yeah, welcome. I am so excited about your journey, and the music that you released in 2020 has been so awesome. I love your vibe, your color scheme, all the good stuff is right up my alley. So I'm excited to get to know you a little bit more. Why don't we dive kind of into how you got started into music and what your journey was kind of like on the way to releasing music?
Absolutely. Yeah. I started releasing or sorry, I started playing music whenever I was about 16 years old. That's whenever I started performing, but all the way back to like 13 is when I first picked up the guitar, and I was super secretive about it. I didn't want anyone to know that I was so passionate about like playing and everything. I taught myself chords on YouTube and just played in my basement and started really singing to kind of accompany my guitar playing because that was my first love. But I just grew this huge love for songwriting and all the whole creative around the process. So when I was about 16, my dad knew the whole time that I was in love with it because he could hear me through the air vents, and he never told me that until like years later. But he always heard me playing down there, and I'd spend
You're
hours
like
and hours a week.
invincible.
Exactly. Like no one knows. I'm
No
like,
one
the
knows.
next Taylor Swift. Like that's my only dream back then. I was like playing Taylor Swift covers and all that stuff. But so when I was about 16, everyone started talking about college and what are those next steps. And I kind of went to my dad and just said, I don't think I need a degree right now for what I'm wanting to do. I really just want to perform and write songs. And he's like, what does that look like? Like, well, how do you even do that? And I was like, I have no idea, but we're gonna figure it out. So he was so supportive of that, and I dove right in after I graduated high school to booking shows and just writing with people in Kansas City, and then moved to Nashville in March of 2019. Just kind of knew that was like the next step I needed to take, and a year and a half later, I finally put music out, and that was kind of the way it all fell into place.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, what you've put out has been really great. Do you have a favorite song out of the ones that you've released so far?
Yes, I do, and I know you're not supposed to pick your favorites because they're like your children, but um, I do
I
have a
think it's
favorite, and it's "Shoes to Fill." It was my third release, my third single. It's the song I wrote about my dad, and he's been nothing but supportive my entire life, not just of music, just everything I've done, and um, just showed me really well how I deserve to be loved and treated by someone in my future. And um, that's kind of what the song's about. It's talking to my future someone, just saying like, "Hey, the bar is set really, really high, and you have big shoes to fill." So that's where the title came in.
Oh, I like that. As it should be. I think the bar should always be high, right? We all deserve love and respect, and I thought keep that bar high, everybody. I think it's important for sure. What do you find the hardest part of 2020 was for you, and how did you navigate through it?
I would definitely say the lack of touring was really tough, and I think a lot of other artists would agree with me on that. I did not expect to release my first project during a global pandemic. That was definitely unprecedented, but I made the most of it for sure. There's a lot of silver lining and a lot of online interviews and concerts and that sort of thing that got me through it, which is awesome. But definitely miss being on the road and connecting with that live audience because there's nothing quite like it.
Yeah, it's a big difference, hey, playing to a computer screen as opposed to playing in front of a an audience. But I mean, I just think, oh, thank goodness we have this technology that we can connect with people on such a, futuristic level. Like I go back to remember watching like Star Trek and stuff, and they would talk to each other on video screens like this. And I'm like, how is that possible? It's so cool that we're in the future now.
Yeah, exactly. We're living that now.
Yeah, we're living that now. We're living that now. What is your favorite part of being a musician?
Um, I would definitely say just like the camaraderie that comes with it. There's something about I just love being able to connect with people through song. I think it's such a cool way to like get to know other people and kind of bond with them in a different way. So that's whether you're around other musicians or not, it's just like a cool thing to kind of be able to bring into a circle or whatever. Just,
It
it's
is
a
for
very creative industry too, a very creative lane. And yeah, so that's kind of my favorite part of it.
Yeah, I love that connection part. Hey, it's just music. I always talk about this. Music is a universal language that can be understood all over the world. And whether or not it's even in your language, it still provokes a feeling and an emotion that we can connect with,
Yeah.
and all that fun stuff.
Absolutely. In a way that just conversation can't alone do, which is
Yeah,
really, yeah.
exactly. Like you can just sit in silence with a group of people listening to music and all be feeling something similar, but not speak a word. And I think that's
Yes, yeah, exactly.
it's so cool. It's so cool. Do you have a favorite concert that you've been to?
Oh, I've been to so many. I mean, as you can imagine, I'm sure you have too. But one of my favorites was actually I went to the Dixie Chicks, now the Chicks.
Yeah.
I think it was like 3 or 4 years ago. I grew up listening to them religiously. I loved them growing up, and I never thought I would get the chance to see them because they broke up whenever I was in my teens. So them doing their like reunion tour, and I got to go with my mom, which was really special because she's the one who introduced me to them. So that was really, really cool because it was like this nostalgic moment of like, I never thought I'd get to be here, and here I am. That was really cool. And I also went to Stagecoach one year, which was amazing because it's like 1,000 concerts in one over 3 days.
Right? So fun. I love those festival type
Yeah,
concerts
great.
where you can just see, all of your faves are all in the same spot and just get to be inspired by everybody. Oh, it's so fun.
Yeah.
Do you have a
It's
favorite
great.
way of songwriting? Do you like to write by yourself, or do you like to write with other people? Or do you have a method to your madness? How do you kind of go about doing it?
That is a perfect way to encapsulate it, is madness for sure. There's no method to it. It is I typically like to go into it with a strong concept or idea of where I need the song to go. So whether that's like writing for a little bit on my own with an idea and then bringing it into a room and having that developed with other writers. But I love having like a strong idea of where the song's going because without that, I tend to just like be too sporadic with the song. But love co-writing. That's one of the best parts of Nashville, I think, in general, is just
Mhm.
that that community of songwriters. And I I like writing with someone more than alone, just a song, and it always feels like it strengthens it a little bit whenever you have more than one opinion on it.
Yeah, I agree completely. I think it's brings something more magic to a song when you get to hear
Yeah,
different perspectives on it, right? Just encompasses more ideas and gets to the point maybe a little clearer, a little more, not even clearer, but more connective with different ways of thinking too, right? Different.
that's exactly right. That actually, I'm gonna play a song at the end of this called "Before He Could," and I wrote it with a girl, Kaylin Robertson, and Landon McGee. They're both artists in Nashville as well, and we wrote the song as I'm talking about breaking my own heart in this song, but Landon and Kaylin both had similar stories of, oh, I've had my heart broken that way, or oh, I've broken someone's heart in that way. So we all three got to like play either side of the coin and write this song collectively that turned out to be really special, all three of us. We all three play it out still, so it's pretty cool.
Oh, that is cool. And I love that. That's exactly what I was kind of saying, was just how it brings so many different ways of looking at a situation. So when you put it together, it can connect with just so many more people, right?
Right. And whenever it's all three of you are feeling something in a room and like people you share it with, someone out there than you three has to connect to it somehow.
Totally, absolutely. Do you have a highlight performance
Oh
that you
goodness.
can?
Probably the first time I played my hometown music venue, the Blue Note. I have been dreaming of that since I was little. Since I first picked up a guitar, like 13-ish, I've been dreaming about playing on that stage. I went to all my concerts there growing up. I've seen everyone from like Luke Combs, Thomas Rhett, Kelsey Ballerini, like everyone on that stage. So
Yeah.
when I first got the opportunity to play that stage, that was crazy. I played Ashley McBride's "Girl Going Nowhere" as one of my covers, and it was just really, really special because I got to sing to like familiar faces in a hometown crowd and it just felt really validating, like I'm on the right track.
Yeah, and there is something about playing to a hometown crowd too that just warms the heart a little bit, right? Just know that you're connecting with your people and just
Right.
doing your thing fearlessly, which is cool. Speaking of being fearless, what are some tools that you use to push through fear that can arise or resistance? I know this industry can be very challenging at times and also very rewarding at times, but those moments where it just kind of feels like, what am I doing? How do you push through those moments that come up for you in life?
I think a lot of it is the foundation I have within my family. That is a really, really key part. to who I am and what kind of brings me back to reality. I have a really strong relationship with my dad and my sisters, and they always, I can always talk to them about anything, and I think that always brings me back to earth a little bit whenever I'm having those moments of doubt and that kind of thing, and encourages me to keep going. But honestly, some of the best advice I've gotten is just to get out of my own way. And it sounds so simple, but it has traveled with me every single day, especially since releasing my first song and like, constantly looking at numbers and how is it streaming and who's downloading and who's, that kind of thing. Are people liking it?
Yeah.
Just getting out of your own way, continuing to stick to what you believe and release the music that you want to release and just believe in it full-heartedly like you did whenever you first wrote it, that sort of thing. Just that's been a huge help to me, just constantly reminding myself, like, get out of your own way. Like, no one can prevent me from doing this except for myself, and I understand that now. So I'm just really trying to drill that into my own head and stop critiquing myself. And just, I think I'm definitely my hardest critic, and we all are that way, but I can definitely get down on myself. So the faster I can remind myself to move out of the way, the better.
Yeah, for sure. It's so easy to tell yourself like, "Oh, you're not good enough, don't do that," or "Someone else has already done that, don't
Right.
do that," or, but there's just so many lanes that we can travel in, and if one person says, "No, that doesn't work for me," well, guess there's like a whole million other people over here that could say yes and could love it, and it's just getting creative with how you do things sometimes too, right? It's like, "Okay, cool, well, that worked for this person. Maybe that's not gonna work for me. Maybe I'll hear a no over here, but there's all these other lanes that I can try too." So, yeah, get out of your own way is
Yeah.
a
I've
huge
heard so much about, like, 10 no's for every yes you get. And so every time I get a no, I'm like, cool, okay, 9 more to go until that next yes. You just gotta use that to keep understand that no is just pushing you forward to your next yes.
Totally, it's almost like get excited about the no's because that means you're closer to that yes.
One down. Let's go.
Let's keep going.
Right.
I love that. I love that. How did you find, different emotions and feelings that came up when you released your first project in 2020? Was it exciting, overwhelming, nerve-wracking, and how did you kind of move and navigate through those feelings?
Yes. All of the above, all the above. It was terrifying, absolutely terrifying. I've been playing music, like I said, since I graduated high school in 2015. So it was 5 years in the making that I finally released music. And just absolutely terrifying. That's where all the best things are found, in the middle of complete terror. So I was just so excited about these songs. I've recorded an album actually prior to this a couple years ago, and it turned out nothing like I wanted it to. It was kind of a Nashville horror story. It was just like a not good situation all around. So whenever I finally got these songs back, and when I was in the studio, just the process of the production and everything, I was so thrilled and so proud of these songs that I got to a point where I'm like, right now in this moment, I need to savor this because I don't care if no one likes these songs because I like them enough to put them out right now. And that's a feeling I had to have before finally like making my little introduction into the music world. So I got there and I was really stoked to put them out. And that's why I decided to in the middle of COVID and everything, because I know just as a consumer, even how much music's helping me through everything, and how much I'm ready for my favorite artists to release their next and next and next song. So that's why so many came out so quickly. I was just excited to get some stuff out and pushed it like crazy.
Yeah, I love how you did it too, just kind of releasing one after the other. And you're
Mhm.
right, people do need music in this time. It's a way of feeling good and connecting. And it's a great way to connect through social media right now in this time when so many people are at a distance and can't have big live shows and all these things. But I mean, I think some people are hesitant to release music during just this time just because they can't do it how we used to. So I just think it's great to watch people
Yeah.
pivoting and finding new ways of putting music out into the world during such an insane time in life, right? What would you
Yeah,
say?
completely. I completely agree with you. And
Oh, sorry, yeah, we just had a lag there. What are you doing when you're not doing music?
oh, I get this question a lot, and I'm like, what do I do when I'm not doing music? Like my brain, I feel like is 100% of the time like focused on this, but any chance I have to come home, I come home. It's about 8 hours to Kansas City from Nashville, so it's a little bit of a trip, but it's drivable, which is great. And so I try to come home all I can because I love being with my family. And my little sister just had the first grandbaby. So I have a little nephew now. He's about to turn 2 months old. So I'm coming home all I can right now for that. Yeah, but and then I love spending time with friends, my people. I'm a massive extrovert, so I love to be around people and I get very fueled from that. And besides that, I journal a lot, I work out, and everything else is pretty much music right now, my whole life.
That's good though. I kind of feel the same way. It's just like when you love what you do, it kind of doesn't feel like you need to focus on anything else too, right?
I
Uh,
was up until 12:30 last night. It was a second day, and I was up till midnight uh just working, like just racking my brain. I'm like, cool, how do I do this next thing? And I'm like, why am I working on a Sunday night? Because I love it. It's just fun for me.
Totally. No, I'm the same way. Yeah, I think tap into those moments. I mean, yes, rest. I'm a big advocate for resting, but also a big advocate for working hard. And especially when you're passionate about what you do, it's sometimes time just disappears. Disappears quickly.
Yes.
Well, I would love to hear your songs if you're ready to play for us.
Yes, I would love to. So I'm gonna play that song I just mentioned first. This is Before He Could. It is on the Finally EP. And this is the one I wrote with those two people. It's my only heartbreak song on the album because I try not to bum everyone out too much in this year full of bummers, but this is Before He Could. It was on Friday nights with a glass of rosé, staying inside, talking over the rain coming down. It was all Sunday morning, walks in the park, blue sky watching me in his arms, till I started thinking about how it all seems too good to be true, and if I leave now, I'll have less to lose. And so I ran from what I wanted. That front door was my way out. I pulled out the driveway, then turned on the highway, headlights looking down the easy route. I saw forever in his need you eyes. He didn't deserve to hear goodbye, but I was scared to let my heart do what it should, so I broke it before he could. Yeah, I know I let a good thing go, but when I started looking down that long road, I could see everything falling apart. So I went ahead and got a head start, and I ran from what I wanted. That front door was my way out. I pulled out the driveway, turned on the highway, headlights looking down the easy route. I saw forever in his need you eyes. He didn't deserve to hear goodbye, but I was scared to let my heart do what it should, so I broke it before he could leave me. Kitchen floor crying, kicking myself, asking God why, and praying someday that he'll turn back around. Oh, probably like he's hoping I will right now, because I ran from what I wanted. That front door is my way out. I pulled out the driveway, turned on the highway, looking down the easy route. Yeah, I saw forever in his need you eyes. He didn't deserve to hear goodbye, but I was scared to let my heart do what it should. Yeah, I was scared to let my heart work like it should, so I broke it before he could. Yeah, I broke it before he could.
Beautiful song. I really like that one. It's sad, but it's beautiful. There's something that, listening to sad songs, it just feels good to listen to feel sad sometimes, right?
I feel like 80% of the time I'm listening to slow, sad. I call it like wine in the bathtub music. Like you're just kind of like kicking back, like just like reflecting on life. Just
Totally. I saw you have a Spotify playlist called that.
I do. I made a whole playlist. It was
Great.
around, yeah, I don't remember. I think it was my first playlist I released it, but it was I feel like it's just full of like Nora Jones, Raylan Montaigne, like that kind of relaxing, like let's just drift away.
Feel good. I love Rayla Montaigne. I used to live in Vancouver, and I just remember sitting on the balcony outside. It'd be pouring rain, just sipping on a glass of wine, and there'd be candles lit. It was just
The only way to do it, the only way to listen to him.
Yeah, just peace.
Yes.
Yeah, I love that. I love that feeling. That's great. All right, what else you got for us, girl?
Okay, so I'm ending on a happy note because I just bummed you out, so I gotta lift you back up. But oh, it's called Pick Me Up too. So how perfect is that? This is a little pick me up at that one. This is the first song I ever released, my first single. Yeah, my first single, and it just blew my mind. I really had zero expectations going into a first release because again, I went into it with the mindset of no one else likes it, that's okay. Hopefully people do, but I love it, and that's what counts. So this song was received really well. The music video got on CMT, Radio Disney picked it up, Country Hits Radio. Like it was a lot of love right off the bat. So I feel very grateful for the song. And it's kind of it's my firstborn child. I keep making children analogies, and I'm sorry for that. But this is
No, it is truly.
It's been a long week. I work 9 to 5 plus overtime, and I barely made it to Friday, but now I'm finally free to do whatever I want. And if it's up to me, well, it's you. With your headlights on my front lawn, I just need a little pick me up, so come pick me up. We can hit the liquor store, spend 23 bucks, get drunk on cheap champagne, forget about the world while we listen to the rain. I'm in need of some TLC, and the only way I want to take your lips all over me. Yeah. Tell me what you're waiting for, I'll be waiting on the front porch for you to pick me up, cause I need a little pick me up. I can't wait to see your baby blues and ride with you in your Chevrolet and pull off the highway, sit in your driveway for 10 minutes too long, too busy making out to the John Mayer song. Hurry up, boy, come on. I need a little pick me up, so come pick me up. We can hit the liquor store, spend 23 bucks, get drunk on cheap champagne, forget about the world while we listen to the rain. I'm in need of some TLC, and the only way I want is with your lips all over me. Yeah. Tell me what you're waiting for, I'll be waiting on the front porch for you to pick me up, cause I need a little pick me up. Monday's gonna come around again, but that's alright, as long as I get you for the weekend. Well, I just need a little pick me up. Yeah, come on over and pick me up, cause I'm in need of some TLC, and the only way I want to take your lips all over me. Tell me what you're waiting for, I'll be waiting on the front porch for you to pick me up, cause I need a little pick me up. Yeah. Oh baby, come pick me up.
I love that one. It's so fun. It's nice to hear.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, it's just a good, upbeat, feel good. And I love like the double entendres with words like "come pick me up" because I need to pick me up. I love songs that have those things in
I
there.
actually said that as a joke to someone, and then I was like, wait, that's kind of a cool song. I was like, hey, I need to pick me up, so come pick me up, haha, like kind of being a dork, and it was like, that's kind of cool actually.
Funny how songs can just flourish from anything. How do you keep track of those little ideas? Do you have a little notepad in your phone, or Do you journal those little thoughts that come up throughout your day? How do you not forget them?
All of the above, but usually it's like something random I'm out and then I pull my phone up and just type it in my notes or my voice memos too.
Yeah, yeah, totally. It's good to have those things on hand. It's crazy, like you'll go scrolling through your phone and it's like, oh yeah, I forgot I even had that thought, right? But
Right, that's why it's
always
like
write
labeled
every
song idea.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely, absolutely. If you could write a song with anyone, who would it be?
Honestly, there's a guy named Sean O'Connell who is one of my favorite writers. I love his writing style and like his melodies. His voice is beautiful. He's written for like Eli Young Band and Brett Young and a bunch of people, but I've met him one time and I would love to write with him at some point.
We'll put it out into the world. It's being put out for you.
Manifest this.
Yes, let's go. It's go it's out there. We'll tag him in this. That's awesome. Well, I always like to wrap these
Mr.
up.
Matthew mentally agrees.
Yeah. So funny. I always love to wrap these up asking the question, if you had one message to share with the world, what would that be?
Are you there?
Oh, yeah. Could you hear me?
Oh, sorry. No, you cut out. What'd you say there?
Oh, that's okay. I was like, maybe we're frozen. I'll just wait. I was just saying, I always love to wrap these up by asking the question, if you had one message to share with the world, what would that be?
Oh, that's a great question. A lot of pressure.
You can change your answer
I
tomorrow.
would
We're
probably
not married
just
to it.
well, I actually this is so cliche, but I have this tattoo on my wrist and it says then what? It's my dad's handwriting and something he said to me my entire life and something I try really hard to live by. And it's basically just a way to observe my intentions behind everything I'm doing and why I'm putting my heart and soul into something. And so I would just say, like, if you're going for something really hard with all your mind and spirit, like, make sure you're doing it for the right reasons and because you have that passion or that calling in you somewhere to follow it and not just because, not for like worldly motivations like money or fame or anything like that. Like, make sure you're doing it for pure intentions. And I think the payoff is always so much greater and so much more worthwhile whenever you're chasing something for that reason.
I like that. I think that's very important. Do things with your heart and soul. And you named it. It's like when you're out
Yeah.
there chasing external things, you're never gonna feel satisfied. You're gonna be running and chasing forever. But when we're out there to, chase the internal self, I think the validation for that is so much stronger and so much more fulfilling. So well said. That's beautiful. Cool. Well, thank you
Yes,
so
fulfillment
much.
is a perfect word. I completely agree.
Yeah. Thank you so much for joining us on the Artist Behind the Music. It's been a great time chatting with you and hearing you play. Love your music, love the EP, love what you're doing. So keep it coming through 2021 and so on. I look forward to hearing more from you.
Thank you so much for having me. It was so good getting to talk to you. Sorry about the lag and everything, but
Oh, all good. Technology, right? We make the best of it.
have a great rest of your day. Thank you.